Today our goal is to find the surface area of a rectangular prism. Surface area is basically the whole outside of an object. And a rectangular prism is this picture right here. And we're only going to be working with rectangular prisms. So to find the surface area, I first have to just figure out that there's a front, which is right here. There's a back, there's a top, there's a bottom, there's a left, and then there's a right side to a rectangular prism. So what I want you to do is write down all of these parts inside of your brace mat. Now for the front, if I look over here, the front to me is this. Oh, let me get a color that shows up better. Right here is my front. If I trace around my front, this is my front. And that front is in the shape of a rectangle. Sorry, that's not the best rectangle, guys. And we know, since we're talking about area of a rectangle is base times height. So if I look here, my base right here is 13 times my height, which is right here, and this is not the 7.5, this matches up with the 9 over here. So it's 13 times 9. And if you stick that into your calculator, because we're allowed to use calculators, the area for this is 117. I'm hoping I don't run out of space here. And remember, the back is just the same as the front, so I'm just going to copy that, draw the same shape, same formula because it's a rectangle, base times height, so it's the same exact as the front, so 13 times 9, which equals 117. Now the top, I'm going to look at the top one. Let me pick a different color, see what colors are up here. Here's a yellow. So I'm going to look at the top. This is the top part right here. And it is also in the shape of a rectangle. That's why it's called a rectangular prism. So the top kind of looks like this to me, which is a rectangle. So again, I'm using area equals base times height. And if I look here, my base is 13 and my height is this line, and it's not the 9 because it's close to it. This matches up with the 7.5. So it's going to be 13 times 7.5. And you stick that in your calculator because we're allowed to use them, and you get 97.5. Oh, my hand must be touching the board. Sorry, guys. And the bottom is just, look right here, just like the top. That's why I use this one so you can see it. So again, I'm working with a long rectangle. So same formula, base times height. And the numbers are the same, 13 times 7.5, which gives me 97.5. And then my last two sides are my left and my right. And when I look over here, my left, let me get a different color pencil or pen. Let's do this purple, that looks kind of cool. So if I look at this left side, actually this is the right, but it's okay. It's right here if I trace around it. Hopefully you're tracing better at home. So again, I have a rectangle that looks like this. And the formula is, and I expect you to be writing all of this on your paper, formula, you know my rule, formulas. I want to see plug-ins. What numbers are you plugging in for there? For this one, it's 9 by 7.5. Put that in your calculator, and you get 67.5. Oops, must have ran off the page. And the right side is the same. So again, I'm going to draw my picture just so I know it's a rectangle. Write my formula for a rectangle, area equals base times height. Same numbers as the left side, 9 times 7.5, and I get 67.5. Now these are the areas of each of the sides. But remember, I want all of the surface areas. So I need to add these together. So I'm going to put a big plus sign right here. and we're going to stick in our calculators. Oops, touching stuff I shouldn't be touching. We're going to, sorry guys, man, I'm having a tough time with this board today. So I'm going to stick into the calculator 117 plus 117 plus 97.5 plus 97.5 plus 67.5 plus 67.5. And hopefully, if you've beaten me, you have gotten 1,000. Nope, sorry, that's the wrong one. I stuck something else in. You have gotten 564. Remember, we need to label it feet because it's area squared. And this is actually the surface area. So I'm going to put SA. Up here was just the area. This is surface area. This is the whole shape. Now you may be asking, why in the world do we have to write this every single one out? Because sometimes on a test, they may be putting together a fish tank. And as you know, a fish tank doesn't have a top on it that's made out of, maybe they're making it out of glass, but the top part is not glass. Usually it's a plastic piece. So you would have to come over here and take out the top part and add everything else. Or they might be painting the sides of a box, and you might just need the front, the back, the top and the bottom, or just the top and bottom. So if you have this written out, you can find which ones you need to answer your question. All right, we're going to do one more together, and then you're going to do one on your own. This is on the bottom of your paper. And again, surface area. So I'm going to look at my top part first. Nope, I'm looking at the front. I always like the front, I don't know why. So here's the front. And if you notice, it's in the shape of a square. Remember, square is the same formula as a rectangle. Base times height. The only thing is the base and the height are the same. You guys are so smart. So it's going to be 17 times 17. And when we stick that into our calculator, we get 289. Well, the back is the same, so I'm just going to copycat that. And yes, you have to write it all down. All right. And the top, well, let me make that 9 better. Some of you might think that's a 4 and ask me about it later. The top is up here. And when I trace over the top, it is also a square. So same formula for square, area equals base times height. And because if you've noticed this is a cube, it's 17 times 17, which is 289 when you put it in your calculator. The bottom is the same as the top, they're twins. So I'm just going to copy. And then I'm going to do the left and the right side by using this pen up here so I can get a different color. So when I come over here, it looks like it's this, which again is another square. This time I'm using different colors on you guys. And it's still the same measurements. So I'm just going to copy it again, 289. I already put it in my calculator before. And this is only because it's a cube. The rectangular prism, the one that was a rectangle before, we couldn't just copycat the whole time. And since I want the surface area, that's all of this, I'm going to put a big plus sign here. And I'm going to stick it in my calculator. Add up 289 plus 289 plus 289 plus 289 plus 289 plus 289. And I get 1,734. Remember, this is inches. And since it's area, squared. And this is surface area. Now you might say again, Miss Caldwell, why in the world did you, oh, there goes the bell. Why did you make me do each one of these out if they're all the same? Because I might be painting these two sides, the top and the bottom, the same, and the back and front the same, but maybe I'm not doing the left and right. So we need to be able to write them out, and then we can just cross off the ones we don't need, or just not write them out when we go to solve it. All right, here is yours to try on your own. Pause up the video, and I'm going to show you the answer in about 5 seconds, because that's our bell, and you're actually coming to see me now. So here, pause it up, and now check your answers. And okay, hopefully you got it right, and hopefully you showed me all of that work, because I want to see all of that. When you come in my room tomorrow, you need to have it all. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.